Hello and welcome. We're here to discuss how the manufacturing sector can reinvent itself to thrive in an ever more complex world. So what does the manufacturing sector need to do to respond to this? And how can it make itself more sustainable? So I'm delighted to say that joining me to discuss this is Romain Apert, the Global CIO of Mars Wrigley. Welcome, Romain.
Thanks, David. It's a pleasure.
But can you tell me a little bit about people? Let's start with people. What role do you think people play in the manufacturing sector, and particularly around, how we can drive change in that sector?
Yeah, I think it's a common belief that a number of existing roles in manufacturing may be performed by robots in the next few years, including some roles which we would consider today as a knowledge worker. Having said that, and it's always the same when we look at new technology versus old technology, we do anticipate a number of new roles emerging from this digital transformation. For example, it's fair to say that we are still far away from artificial general intelligence, and therefore robots still have a lot of gaps to fill against human. In fact, if you look at the domain of advanced analytics, we often look at artificial intelligence as a way to turbocharge the creation of insights. But we tend to forget that the process of turning data into insight is only the first step in a broader culture of exploration. You then need humans to turn insights into hypotheses. And you also need humans to pressure test those hypotheses and ultimately create value, and obviously turn this value into learning. So this is a very human-centric approach, leveraging scientific method and again, a culture of exploration. And that is even more important to do in an increasing VUCA world.
Can you talk a little bit about data, the role that data plays, particularly around problem solving?
When I reflect about the digital transformation journey at Mars over the past few years, I keep thinking about the concept of quantum leadership, which is actually the ability to lead in multiple ways, depending on the type of challenge we have to overcome. If the challenge is complicated, which means you have all the information in front of you to make the best possible decision, I would say we should continue to approach this resolution in a traditional way, setting up a North Star and try to find the best possible way to get there. Now, if the challenge is complex, which means we can only access partial information, then you have to use different methods, making a number of hypotheses, which you will try to pressure test over the next 12 weeks. So at the end of the process, you can reflect on these hypotheses and use this learning opportunity to set up new hypotheses for the next 12 weeks. And ultimately, what the Mars Digital Engine is a simple framework to best navigate in this world where we have to apply different techniques depending on the type of problem we need to address. And specifically when we need to address a complex problem, the Mars Digital Engine is a great approach. It helps finding the right problem with design thinking, solve this problem with data and analytics, automatizing the solution to free up time to find the next problem, and doing that again with a 12-week cycle of agile ways of working in mind.
Could you tell us a little bit about what innovation means at Mars Wrigley?
Now, it's a great question, and it's often a question I get from my business counterpart. And usually my first response is to say that we shouldn't see digital as an objective. There is a lot of different ways to innovate. You can innovate with packaging, you can innovate with channel. Obviously, you can innovate with digital. But what's super important is we need to keep in mind that overall what we are trying to achieve is an enterprise transformation. Now, at the same time, clearly digital innovation is a big enabler today to turbocharge enterprise performance, thanks to the rapid development and adoption of new digital solutions and services, whether it's artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, cloud computing, blockchains, and so on. And so it's fair to say that the role of digital innovation is getting bigger and bigger, whether, again, it's the increasing usage of AI in the case of demand sensing capability to reduce risks of product being destroyed, or the usage of digital twins to minimize waste in a factory. We are here talking about a virtuous circle of value creation and waste elimination.
So at this point, I'd like to say a really big thank you to you, Romain, for joining us and for sharing those fascinating insights with us. It's been really, really insightful. So thank you very much for your time.